BB851, turn right heading 180. Order 14 Papa, turn right 245, report localizer established 27 left.
So, hey everyone, welcome back to an unscripted channel update and also life update. I don't do many of these here on the channel, but if you are interested in seeing more, do let me know. In addition, if this sort of thing isn't for you and you're only here for the aviation news and analysis, please do feel free to click off this video, you're more than welcome to. There are going to be set topics that I'm going to discuss, and hopefully at the start of this video there was a little screen that had the timestamps for each section of the video, so if you want to hear one, you can skip to it, very similar to the Aviation News Weekly. So first of all, I want to start on external social media, mainly Twitter. A lot of people here, in fact 200 and I think roughly now 27,000, have subscribed to the channel DJ's Aviation. However, you may not be aware that I actually am on multiple other social media platforms. That includes Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, although I don't really use it. I'm also on Patreon, and I believe that may be it. Oh, SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts, but we're going to get onto the podcast later on. I don't often plug these with my own voice. I put little cards up in the screen just to try and direct people there. However, I feel like maybe I should do it more, as it helps building with the brand, it helps you getting to know me better. So the first one and the main one I'd like to recommend is my Twitter page, which is at DJ's Aviation, and will be linked in the description below like every single video. This account is pretty much for me to express my thoughts on the industry, give you all updates, interact with you all. It is truly a much better place to interact rather than the YouTube comments, pretty much because a lot of people that move over there are just down to have a conversation, no competition about aircraft, really just have a genuine chat, and I really do enjoy it. In addition, I retweet a lot of news, so if you're interested in getting aviation news just like that, I'll also be retweeting stuff over there. So ultimately it's up to you, but I would definitely recommend heading over there. Next thing is the Paris Air Show coverage, which actually begins next week. If you were around the channel around a year ago, you will know that I covered the 2018 Farnborough Air Show, and there was a lot of uploads. I'm planning on doing the same, and because of this, I will not be uploading any more until Monday, just giving you all some prior warning. You know, I usually upload daily, and I think the last time I didn't upload daily was when I went to London for an actual holiday. That was once every 2 days. So there's going to not be any uploads until Monday to make sure I am prepared, because I've been feeling a little bit tired with everything going on in my life. So I just want to have a little bit of a break and then come in full on with the Paris Air Show coverage. So I would recommend you turn on post notifications. Again, this is something I don't beg with my voice. I do put annotations on the screen, but you don't have to do it. But I would actually recommend you do it for the Paris Air Show coverage, because there's not going to be one upload a day. There could be 5 uploads a day. And this Paris Air Show coverage is probably going to likely stretch into July, as well. So I would definitely recommend hitting those post notifications, because you will be seeing multiple uploads a day, and they will not necessarily be going live at the hour. So say 10 p.m, 11 p.m, 12 a.m. It might be 11:57 p.m, 1:12 a.m, and so on, pretty much all throughout the week. The next thing is the DJ's Aviation podcast. Now, if you're unaware, I actually have my own podcast. I have not updated it in a while because I've just been so busy with everything going on in my life. But I did actually do a lot of episodes. That is going to be returning, but under a new name, DJ's Rambling, because it's not going to be strictly aviation focused and is not going to have the aviation branding with it, which is going to allow me more freedom. So I'm going to have new segments involved in that, especially as I move to London. The podcasts are going to be really rich and full of content, and hopefully really enjoyable for you to get an insight on how my move is going. It's also going to provide me an outlet to really get my opinions out, as I am moving there by myself, not with my parents, so it just gives me something to talk to, and I know it's pretty much me talking to myself, but usually when you all listen, it's pretty cool. So there's going to be more opinions as well, opinions on aviation topics, which is something I'm trying to work more into the videos now. However, I'm always mindful of how I express my opinions, because I don't want to come across biased in some way, shape or form. I know that's something some people believe, but I truly don't like one airline more than another, one manufacturer more than another, because after all, this is my hobby, but it has turned into my job, and I need to make suitable business decisions, if you will, to make sure I can pay my rent and survive like any other person in their job. I'll also be talking sports, movies, maybe some YouTube stuff, shows, news, and that doesn't relate just to aviation news. I might talk about worldwide news, as there are other topics that interests me. And you can kind of see on your screen now what the cover art is going to look like, and that's thanks to Michael, who did my logo, banner, and a host of other things for me in the whole channel rebrand. Now, the London move update. Big news, yes, it's 4 weeks now until I depart to London, moving there. And I'm very, very excited. I am incredibly stressed, so I would just like to apologize if you've seen a little bit of a drop-off in the quality of the content, as well as some added sponsorships. But frankly, I really want to not only enjoy myself over there, but be able to provide you with exciting content. And that's what I'm going to get into in the next topic. And taking on sponsorships can be quite difficult in my area that I cover. So I'm going to get onto sponsorships more so later on in the Q&A section. So I've actually been preparing, on top of the videos I'm been creating daily, videos that are going to go live in July. I took on some script writers who each wrote a script for me over the course of 2 months. So I am pleased to say I have actually 18 videos going live from July 10th to August 4th. And that's going to cover pretty much my entire move and getting set into hopefully a new flat. So you're going to be getting a video almost every single day. You'll pretty much go a video for 3 days and then skip a day. So I've been doing that on top of the regular content, and it's been a little bit stressful, and it's kind of run me into the ground this week, which is also why you haven't seen as many uploads. In regards to my general activity when I've moved to London, that's going to vary. I believe probably in the first few months, or maybe the first month, I may not be uploading daily, pretty much because I'm moving over to London to also enjoy life, and there's things I want to do. So if I don't upload daily in the first month, please just know that I will be back eventually. However, just as much as the move is business related, it's also because I have a lot of hobbies and things I want to explore. Now, onto flights booked. Again, this is something, if you've been following me over on Twitter, you may actually have seen. However, I do have some exciting flights that will be taking place in the near future, mainly August. I am booked onto an Aer Lingus A320 from London Heathrow to Dublin. I am then flying on a Lufthansa A340 in business class from Dublin to Frankfurt. I'm then flying back on a British Airways A319 or A320 back into London. I also had booked the British Airways 747 domestic flights and business from Heathrow to Newcastle and Newcastle to London. However, that has now been cancelled. Pretty disappointing, I know. Some things I'm aiming to get on is, of course, a Ryanair flight, the British Airways A350 1000 crew training flights to Madrid, the Air France A350 crew training flights. I'm also hoping to get on the Aer Lingus A321 and the 737 MAX when it gets back in service. All of those will be converted into trip reports, and how could I forget? I'm also flying on the Qantas A330 and Qantas A380 through to London. Trip reports will be coming as well, as I have purchased a new camera that's specifically going to be done for these trip reports and journeys. Now over to the Q&A. Carl asks me, here's a serious one. How do you decide which sponsors to let appear on the channel? And have I rejected any on religious and moral reasons? You don't have to name them. And that's a very valid question, because recently you saw a mobile game advertised on the channel, and you may have wondered why on earth this has nothing to do with aviation. I'm going to enlighten you on something. Making aviation videos is not very appealing to sponsors. In fact, you barely get any sponsors, whereas if you're doing a gaming channel, or maybe even a vlogging channel, every man and his dog is willing to sponsor you. I simply don't get that. I really only get 4 main sponsors, and that you've seen. At Dashlane, you get something like Audible, maybe a mobile game, which I have rejected many mobile games in the past. However, just as much as I do the products that benefit me, I also do products that I know are going to benefit you, my viewers. Just like I know pretty much half of you watching are interested in games, and I see that by all the Flight Simulator, all the general game talk that I see in the comments, and more. So I believe that benefits certain people. It may not benefit others, and it may not benefit me, but I know it's going to benefit some people. So yes, I have turned down sponsors based on what I believe is fit for the channel, i.e. watches, because I just don't simply think that's going to work. But something like NordVPN, Dashlane is absolutely brilliant and something I actually use. So Lions Aviation asked, what would I say would be the thing that most convinced me to move to London, i.e. the thing that triggered the move, and what do you think would be the most different to living in Australia? Well, first of all, my parents won't be there, so of course that's going to be completely different. What triggered the move were a number of things. Planes, aviation on a whole, airports, travel, my football team, which I'm very passionate about. So just a lot of things, and also just really enjoying life, which I'm not really doing here in Australia, being cooped up in my room and having no particular outlet. Jay asks, how hard is it to run a YouTube channel full time? How much time, effort, and resources go into making a successful video? I don't think any of my videos are necessarily successful. The viral ones are always the controversial ones, and the ones a year down the line I don't like making, or I don't like watching again. The ones I put the most effort into never do well, but something here on the channel which people may not like is its quantity over quality. I don't make my videos with animations to the highest standard possible because they're meant to be 3-4 minute videos, 5-minute videos that you can click on, watch. You don't have to focus too much. You can just listen, and then guess what? You can click off. You can watch another video if you want, but it's just something you quickly come up every single day, have a little watch to see a particular topic you're interested in, and that's about it. In regards to how much time, it really varies. During the Farnborough Air Show, I was spending 14 to 16 hours a day working on everything. However, of course, now I do this full time, so it varies. When the 737 MAX stuff happened, I was working for some like 11 hours every single day for nearly 2 weeks. It gets pretty tiring because with YouTube and the paying, you don't get leave. You don't just get to take a week off, because if you take a week off, you're not paid because no one watches the new uploads. So it's a little bit difficult, but I manage, and it's a lot of effort, I will mention that as well. I've pretty much run myself into the ground doing 3 times the content, but that's the choice I make. Anyway, that is the channel update. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate all your support. I'm going to be doing one more channel update, which is already recorded, so it's going to be a pre-recorded one, and it will be going out the day I leave for London, and it's going to give you an overview of what you can expect, probably better than this video in the future. So thank you very much.
And we'll fly.